Hey people of the internet, this is Archivian here, and these are my non-spoiler thoughts about the Black Panther movie. So firstly, some basics about Black Panther. He's an African Batman, but a panther. He has the money, the tech, the smarts, and the fighting ability, and he's also less emotionally screwed up. But he also has basically got super soldier powers just like Captain America. And he has a better suit than Iron Man, or at least it's a suit that allows him to take way more damage and does its own set of cool gadgety things, but not as much as Tony Stark's suit. Tony Stark's suit does way more different things, it seems. But he's not just all that. He is also the King of Wakanda. Now that's a lot of stuff, but that's the thing about this movie. Given all of that stuff, what it tries to do is focus a lot on the actual characters and what they're going through and not just the superheroing. Yeah, that's a word. Now when I say that, that doesn't mean there isn't much action. There's actually a good amount of action. Though I will say the early action scenes suffer from shaky camitis and that whole death by 1,000 cuts thing. Though it does get better as the movie goes on. The film does have a lot of lore and characters to introduce. And it does do it well, but I won't pretend like I could keep up with all the names of all the characters. I had the same issue with Game of Thrones. I mean, I only got used to their names once they killed off half the characters. But you do get a good feel for the characters, because through dialogue and the actions they have them do and their relationships with each other, some in good humour, some not so much, you do get a good feel for each character and how important they are to the story and to each other. So the camera shots, the colours and the music are actually all pretty damn amazing, and the design, sorry, obviously, and the set design. And it kind of surprised me. The only other Marvel movie that really made me think, oh wow, was Thor 3. The way it was filmed, every shot of that movie, I kind of wanted a screenshot and put it on my computer as a background kind of thing. This movie, it's not every shot in this movie, but large chunks of this movie are just done so well, I would want a screenshot and have a poster of it somewhere or something like that. The acting in this movie is really, really good. Andy Serkis is brilliant. I absolutely loved his character of Ulysses Klaue. Chadwick Boseman, a brilliant king. He comes across as kingly as fuck, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, that dude is in charge. Yeah, that is it. That is how it works. He's great. He plays that role really good. Makes you sort of feel for the decisions he has to make throughout the movie. And none of them are easy. Not if he wants to stay being a good king. And as they say in the movie, it's hard to be a good man and a good king. And Michael B. Jordan, goddamn, one, you see him, you're like, goddamn, I have to go to the gym and stop being fat and sitting in front of a computer. The other thing makes you think is he has a point. His view, you can empathize with his view. He has a point. You can see where he's coming from. You don't agree with the action he's taking, yeah, but you can see what he wants, why he wants it, and how he feels things should be. And you're like, some of those things you said, they're not untrue, you know, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I do like the way they do it. He's a more complex character. However, I was wondering how the movie was going to go about its humour. I mean, it's a Marvel movie, so you know there's going to be humour in it. But after seeing Guardians 1 and 2, and then Thor 3, where they had, like, jokes every 5 seconds, especially in Thor 3, the trailer did not suggest that this would have much comedy in it. And to be honest, it is nowhere near the amount of comedy as you would find in something like Thor 3. That being said, there are jokes in it, and some of them, they all land. They all do land. Some of them are a bit more obvious, but a lot of the jokes seem to be more about the mannerisms of how the characters interact with each other and the different stations and positions they have, because remember, it is a kingdom, and so importance is applied differently in a kingdom than it would be, say, in a democracy. I will also say this movie is a pretty good argument for democracy. I mean, it pretty is, but I'll go into that in spoilers. There is one thing though, the movie does have a lot of cliches. I mean, the story isn't new. It's been done over and over and over again, to be honest. But the motives of why the characters are taking part in that story do actually keep that story interesting, even though you do kind of know the boxes it's going to tick as it goes through the film. Also, the kind of action that's in it is the same kind of action you've seen in a lot of other Marvel movies. But again, they have a bunch of new toys to mess around with that action, and that actually keeps it engaging. And because of all that, their pacing actually felt okay for the most part. The movie didn't feel too long, at least for me. In fact, it ended a little quicker than I was ready for. Though I was okay when it ended. I didn't need to have more. The only thing I needed more of was a little bit more Michael B. Jordan and his backstory, because they talk about the things he's gone through, but they don't really show it. It's more a case of tell not show rather than show not tell. Overall, I think this movie actually deserves its hype. It's one of the best MCU movies in my opinion. Though about that height, in particular to its focus on race and culture and a black identity, it's hard to do a film that addresses those things without somehow referencing the historical suffering that people went through. And even if you're interested in that subject, it can lean toward a pretty heavy film. But for me, Black Panther doesn't actually do that. Yes, there is a significant focus on that history, but the film is not weighed down by its commentary. Instead, it addresses it well enough for the context of a film, because it is a comic book movie, and then goes forward to show a potential concept for black identity in Wakanda and how it operates. Something that I don't think I've seen, not like that, in a blockbuster movie ever. To put it another way, for me it was like the first time I saw Star Trek as a kid, when I saw the Federation and how science could be used to solve so many problems and progress so far. It was hopeful to see a concept of human potential, where we could possibly go or try to aim for, even if it's just science fiction. For me, Black Panther did the same thing, but for a black identity. It didn't just simply focus on the struggles of the past. It celebrated black identity now and how it might be the potential of it in the future. That is really powerful. Anyway, that's my view. It's a good movie. Go and watch it. It's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's as good, if not better, than a lot of the previous movies. Still not the best, in my personal opinion. It has issues. But overall, it is a good, enjoyable movie and not a waste of money at all. At least it wasn't for me. Anyway, guys, thanks for taking the time to check this out, and I'll catch you guys next time. Hopefully for the spoiler review.